Hello and welcome. Sit tight. Catch Dog Concepts will be live very soon. Thank you for tuning in. What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Catch Dog Concepts is live again. Boy, this don't feel right. I've been gone for a little minute. But no, we back on here, man. You know, we got another pioneer dog, man. We got Lamone Corleone at Colossal Mastiff coming on, and we finna talk about that Colossal Mastiff and get into it. How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's going on with you?
And you know, back on that grind, man. I took a little break. You know, I was gone for a minute, but I'm back now. You feel me?
That's what it's about, man. Long as back and steady rolling. That's people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Moving. You know how it go.
So, you know, tell the people your name and where you from.
My name is Lamone Shockley. Actually, my last name not Corleone. That's literally for Facebook.
See, I was gonna ask you about that too. I was like, I see Shockley and I see
a lot of people ask me that. They're like, "Is Corleone your real?" I'm like, "No, that's literally just for Facebook and social media." It's Lamone Shockley. I'm from Chicago. I actually live in the suburbs now. I've been in the suburbs for about over 10 years, should I say. But yeah, I've been doing the dogs for about 20 years now. I started my own breed, of course, 20 years ago. I've been breeding since I was 16 years old. I'll be 36 years old in May. So yeah, I've been in the dogs quite a while.
okay, okay. So, you know, talk about your beginnings and how you got into the dogs and everything like that.
Well, like I think everybody who like dogs and breed dogs. I've been around dogs literally my entire life. I had dogs since I was born. At the end of the day, it's never been a moment where I didn't have a dog. So when I was growing up, I remember we had a pit bull when I was super young. My old man had that's when he was dealing with pit bulls kind of hard around that time.
Okay.
As I grew older, my old man got into Roddy. Uh, we ended up he had like 6 or 7 of them at the time. You know what I
Dang.
mean? He was kind of big in the rock roller.
Yeah.
And man, the one rock roller story we had a boy. Now it was either Hines or Hike. We had two males that was pretty nice, and we went out to Kentucky to go see this breeder. I cannot think of this guy's name, but he had this rock roller named Condor. He was the number 2 rock roller in the country at the time.
Wow.
So my old man, he big rock roller breeder, and he has a hike, and he just admiring them so much, right? So he
Yeah.
get out there to Kentucky, and when I say Condor made that dog look like absolutely like nothing, it was like that's how good Condor looked.
Yeah.
So the next thing y'all know, I think maybe a couple of months later, maybe we rolled right back out there. We got 2 puppies off of Condor. You know what I mean? We got 2 brothers,
Yeah.
and brought them back. And we had one dog. He had caught parvo at like 8 months old. The other one we ended up selling to one of my old man friends. So he ended up living. So my old man was blue about that situation. He was a real nice dog. He looked like his old man at the end of the day. He was real
Yeah.
nice. And the rock Rockwaller thing was going for a little minute, and then
Let me
we
ask you a
got
question right quick though. Did the Rottweiler look like the ones of today, or did it have some
no,
differences?
no. That bulldog was one going on around that time. This is like the '90s. This is when rock Rockwaller was in a prime at the end of the day.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I
was
mean?
kind of
When that was a big time breed.
I want to say like they had more of a kind. I don't want to say terrier, but it was kind of like somewhere in there a little bit where they didn't have a lot of like mastiffy or like
No,
real
right. It
big
was
features,
it
you
was a
know.
longer muzzle. You
Yeah,
know what I
yep.
mean? More like a farm dog
That's what I'm
type
saying.
dog.
Yeah,
A real robust breed. You know what I mean?
exactly.
It was nice, and they actually, you know what I mean, nice. The Doberman, the Rottie, the German Shepherd. around that time, those were the dogs that people was
Yeah.
messing with at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Um, Later on, we start getting into American Bulldogs. We still had a couple of pit bulls around. Um, and then, every Saturday I'll go with my old man and his friends, and we'll just go do dog stuff every Saturday. You know what I mean? Go hit different people's yards. Go to the park, work the dogs, go hit the different stoves, and all that. But the part that really made me do what I do is when we went to Richard K house. That what really got me motivated to really do my own thing like that.
Yeah.
Like that was the first person that ever seen crossing dogs on that level. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that was, I mean, back then people kind of shamed you know what I mean, crossing
Yeah.
dogs because they was more into the pure breeds and stuff like
Right.
that. So Richard K was kind of ahead of his time back then. You know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
probably one of the few people that was doing that. So when I went over there, man, funny story because we literally had just gotten to the American Bulldog, and before I went to Richard K house, my old man and them they already knew Richard K been over there seeing the dog and stuff
Right.
like that. So one particular day, my old man he like, yeah, man, we finna get a Borgle. But the whole time, you know what I mean, a Borble, you never heard of a Borble before around
Right.
that time.
Man, I know
And
people
so in
today
my
that
mind,
don't know what they is.
I'm thinking Bull Mastiff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's saying Bull Mastiff the wrong way or something. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I'm like, we finna get a Bull Mastiff. So I'm looking up Bull Mastiffs and all that. You know what I mean? Because that's what I think we getting. So he steady telling me, no, we getting a Borble. This a dog from South Africa, and they used to hunt lions and baboons and all. So I'm like, I'm still thinking Bull Mastiff at the end of the day
Right.
because it's no Borble information at this time. You can't put Borble really in the internet and really come up with a whole bunch of stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I
I
mean?
mean,
Around
some
that
pictures,
time, there was
different
only
pictures
a
come up.
couple of websites on the Borble,
Yeah.
and they was all in German, and you know what I mean. You
Wow.
weren't really nothing in English around that time,
Right.
except Molassa World. Molassa
Yeah.
World had a lot of different breeds that you could click on the different breeds, and it showed a different list of
Oh,
breeds.
they was
And
they was around back then
yeah, that
too.
was around back then. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a magazine now these days, but
Yeah.
back then it was a website. You know what I mean, for all the different like exotic breeds and
Right.
to give you all a brief history and stuff like that. So I'm looking up the dogs. You know what I mean? We go over there. He bring out Major and he bring out the mama. I can't think of the mama name at this point, but I remember Major because he was just so impressive to me. So he brought him out. I'm like, whoa, these dogs are like incredible,
Yeah.
super athletic. Um, Man, right? I ain't gonna lie. The boy was probably the most athletic mastiff I've seen at the time. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like for the size that they were,
Yeah, and they muscled
and
out too. They got a nice thick
yeah,
frame on
yeah, man, they was real nice. So I was thirsty to get one of them,
them.
and of course, and that's when it started. You know what I mean? Because after that, he brought the dogs out, and then we actually because Richard K had his garage set up like 4 stages. You know what I mean? He had the coldest setup ever. He had
Wow.
the adult dogs on one side, and he had puppies on the other. So he's like, yeah, man, come check the dogs out or whatever. We going there. Man, he had all kind of crosses in there, man. He had Borble, American Bulldog, Borble Corso. He had like a Fila Borble Tosa cross or something. Man,
Ooh,
he had crazy shit. Yeah, but I mean, curse. He had
you all
crazy
good,
stuff
man.
at the end of the
Yeah.
day. And I was like, man, man, the dogs look so incredible. He had the full blooded warbles, you know what I mean? He had a couple of warble pits. He had pretty much everything that you kind of see today.
Dang.
He had that way back then. So,
Yeah.
my man, and I'm saying this as a kid, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
kind of that gave me an early start to kind of start
I
doing what
want.
I'm doing, and then
Right.
on top of that, I got the blood coming directly from the source. You know what I mean? Coming
Yeah.
directly from South Africa. The pit bull that I'm using, real pit bulls at the end of the day, not none
Right.
of the backyard
You know
alleys
what
and
blood it
stuff. Yeah.
was?
He was the pit bull that we used was Red Boy G Rascal, I think. I had literally just talked to my uncle, uh, like maybe a few weeks ago, and it was I knew they was Red Boy G, but I believe it's Rascal. It was always a dog that I was leaving out, a line that I was leaving out, and he
Yeah.
had told me he was like, yeah, man, it's such. I'm like, okay, well. I know that at the end of the day. I knew that, you know what I mean? Because I would see the, and I'm young, you know what I mean, dealing with them and all that. So
Right.
I didn't remember every single line I was in the dog at the end of the day. So I remember there was Red Boy Jeep, and I believe it was Rascal or something like that. But his name was Logan. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Champion Logan.
Yeah.
He was a nice dog at the end
And
of
you
the day.
you
You know.
said Richard K was like the first you seen you he was one of the first people to import Borbles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Back when people had Rotties and German Shepherds and Pit Bulls, Rich K had Borbles and Corsos, and they had Pressers and everything else. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I got to see those dogs extremely early. Matter of fact, some of the dogs that on like the presser history pages and stuff like that,
Hmm.
some of their dogs, the pressers come down from those dogs at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's how, you know what I mean, how far back that they go, you know what I mean,
Right.
as far as getting the dog. But yeah, so I had those, and we started doing our thing as far as breeding and crossing and stuff like that. And then we got to a point where it was almost gone. You know what I mean? Like different stuff was happening with the dogs, different situations and stuff like that. My uncle ended up, he was like the last one to really keep the last of the blood that was coming from the imported dogs that was coming over.
Yeah.
So once I seen that, I had Colossus, the dog that I started my line off of, came from him. He bred Colossus, and I turned Colossus into what you see today.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Colossus was uh, Neo Borble Pit,
Mm.
and then that was when I let him grow up and all that, see how he was. He was a nice dog, you know what I mean? Real nice dog. He wasn't as tall as the dog that I got today,
Right.
but you know what I mean. My whole purpose with him in the beginning was to get a bigger version of him anyway.
Yeah.
So it worked out the way that I wanted
Right.
it to work out. I
So
wanted to do
what was
everything
it?
without him, just on a bigger scale.
What was his characteristics like? I mean, what was he like? His guardian instincts and his capabilities. What was that
Oh
like?
man, he was A1, man.
Uh oh, cut out. Might have got a phone call. There we go.
I'm
We
back
good
in.
now. Yep, you back
Yeah,
in. Yep.
somebody called me, my fault, bro.
That's what I
But
thought.
yeah, he was A1, man. Real real good natural protection guard dog. Great with kids, great with the family. The crazy part, my mama, like my old man, always had dogs. My mama was never really big on the dogs like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She knew that he liked them, and she knew that we liked them at the end of the day, so she just kind of dealt with them.
Right.
But Colossus, oh, that was her dog. You feel me? She
Yeah.
loved Colossus at the end of the day because just off the personality that he had. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He was just a one overall dog, and she liked him so much she used to dress him up and everything. I come in the house sometimes he got t-shirts on and
Man, that's
yeah, so
crazy.
that was shocking within itself. But yeah, I only did protection work with him one time. And man, he caught on from there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He did everything that I needed him to do
Mm.
right there. He had a few live bites and everything. You know what I
Oh
mean?
wow. Okay.
Somebody tried to break in our house before. I'm like I'm from Chicago, bro. It get a little wild out here every now
Right.
and then. It's a nice
Yeah.
place, don't get me wrong, but it do get a little crazy. But somebody tried to break in our house before, and man, Colossus got up, man, went through the door, chasing them out the house. Well, they didn't get in the house, but they actually we got like a, you know what I mean,
You get another call. Dang. Man, y'all hit the like button, man. You are
connected to one of the rooms. And
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you cut out for a little second. I can hear you though.
I can't hear you though.
You can't hear me?
Uh-uh.
Uh-oh. Oh, let me see. Try it now. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yep. You can hear me
I,
good now?
no,
No?
I can't hear you. I can read your lips, but I can't hear you.
I'm gonna kick you out for a second. I'm gonna kick you out for a second.
Okay.
Yep. Let me see. I'm gonna check my settings right quick. Man, y'all hit that like button, man. We got a good brother on here. Let me see. I'll add him back in. Can you hear me now?
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, but I can't. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
hold
checking my
on.
audio now.
Okay, I hear you now.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Okay,
All
cool.
right, bet.
So
Okay.
yeah, we got like like a connection to one of the rooms, just a little extra room we built, and they actually came through that part, and they was on their way into the bedroom.
Yeah.
So at the time, my Colossus slept in the bedroom. So when he heard them, coming through the door, he jumped right up, jumped over the bed, and was going after the guys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Dang.
after that, my mom was in love with the dog after that because at the
Yeah.
end, he just saved the house and everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at that point, I knew then, and that was just natural. Only worked the dog one time at the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? His whole entire
That's
life.
crazy.
For him to do that, you know what I mean? First time out, I spent a lot of time with my dogs too. So I always
Yeah.
build that bond with the
Right.
dog. And that's an important part when you dealing with dogs is building a bond. When you build the bond, your dog gonna die for you at the end of the day.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? So I knew then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start a real life line off of him. And man, 20 years later, of course I brought in a couple of extra breeds
Right.
to, increase the size
Yeah.
and
Go over
strength
those for me if you can. The
over the
the
part,
breeds that you
not
added. Yeah.
okay. Pretty much I added in Corso and I added in English Mastiff.
Okay.
The English Mastiff is pretty recent, like maybe like 5 years ago. And the Corso I added maybe yeah, probably more so in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I took Colossus, bred him into a Corso, kept a dog from that. This is in the beginning,
Yeah.
kept a dog from that just to get my stock up. Um, bred him into kept a girl from that, bred him into another English Mastiff, kept a dog from that, and I bred the half brother, half sister together, and
Mm,
that's the beginning of my line. Just keeping family members, breeding, line breeding,
yeah.
inbreeding, stuff like that, and outcross when you need to.
Right.
So I brought the English Mastiff in as a outcross, and I brought another Corso line in as an outcross. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Because you can't run with the same blood forever. You know what I
No.
mean? You
Yeah.
start running into problems and stuff like that. So if I am gonna bring an outcross in, it definitely got to complement what I got going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or and it got to bring it because I'm bringing in new blood for one, and I wanted to correct a certain aspect of the dog. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because like I say, no dog perfect. It might be feet, it could be hips, it could be the muzzle, it could be the
Yeah.
type. You know what I mean? That's the reason I'm going out. It's not just to bring in new blood. That's
Right.
that's
Just to
the
say you
main
got
thing.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's to bring in traits that I need to improve on what I got. You
And
know
ain't
what I
nothing
mean?
wrong with that. I mean,
Oh
you
no,
want to
no.
better the dog. Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, with the English master, what did he look like? Was he like a
Oh, he
couch
was.
potato, or was
Oh
he?
no, oh no, he was very impressive, very impressive. Like a lot of the English masters that you see today, I count potatoes at the end of the day. They just
Yeah.
big dogs. They kind of lazy. They ain't really doing too much. A lot of them definitely don't got the aggression to them at the end of
Right.
the day. But this particular one, I went out to Missouri, and man, he was extremely impressive. He had to be about 34 inches. He was like he was close to 200 pounds if he wasn't 200 pounds. But
Hmm.
they had him out there on the chain like a pit bull.
Yeah.
And they had a big rope hanging from a tree. Man, he was jumping up, grabbing the rope, shaking the rope, and I couldn't believe that for an English match.
Yeah.
Feel me? I was like, huh? And man, super drivey, like extremely drivey. He didn't like other dogs. He was just, the total opposite of what you see today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More like the older type that you read about. You know what I
Right.
mean? At the end of the day. So of course, I had to bring him in, and he had good structure, good feet, nice rear end. And
Yeah.
at that time, I wanted to rise the height on my dogs. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wanted to get them a tad bit taller, and that's the main thing I wanted. I wanted to keep everything about Colossus as far as the attitude, the look, but I wanted to stretch them out and I wanted to raise them up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's why I went more mastiff heavy instead of pit bull. You know what I mean? I think I
Right.
got enough pit bull to keep them healthy and drivey and
Yeah.
keep because at the end of the day, if you a lot of people. when you see the dog, like the videos be cool and the pics be cool. You know what I mean? I ain't no photographer. I
Right.
never claim to be. So my pics
Yeah.
and stuff, they be alright, you know what I mean, just for to let people see. But when you see the dogs in person, it's like a totally different thing. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like a
Yeah.
totally different thing. Like a lot of people, and in comparison to a lot of masters out here, man, they are consistently able to do their job at the end of the day. You know what I
Right.
mean? They consistently got that real life protection instinct. You know what I mean? They real
Yeah.
life want to protect you, and you don't see that a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of people talk about it and say that they got it until they actually see it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then
And a
when
lot of
they
people
actually,
don't want to own it neither.
yeah, but and I never really understood, but that's just people who just don't really know how to handle a dog because
Right.
I just never really understood that part of it either. Because if you got a good overall dog, the dog know how to be that when needs be. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's not like that 24/7.
Yeah.
You feel me? When you got that dog out, it's literally bonding time. It's
Yeah.
you and the dog. You just taking the dog out for a walk. He ain't got no reason to go crazy on everybody that walk past or
Right.
the kids that's playing in the park. The lady that's walking her dog with the stick in her hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all just have so a lot of times I'll be like, yeah, you just dealing with a dog with a bad temperament at the end of the day. It's not the fact that the dogs that the protection dogs is a bad thing. It's just
Yeah.
you gotta deal with a dog that actually think at the end of the day.
And
You
you
know what
gotta
I
know
mean?
you gotta know what to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and get the dog that fits you. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Everybody ain't really meant for a protection breed. You
No.
know what I mean? You might not even live in an area where you even need that. You
Right.
feel me? I
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I know it's the Pressers, the Borbles, and Corso. They popular breeds right now, and they've been
Yeah.
popular for the last few years. But just because they popular don't necessarily mean it's for you. You
Right.
know what I mean? You
Yeah.
gotta get you gotta get the dog that fits your situation. Get the dog that fits your attitude. You know what I mean? You might not have attitude for one of those dogs
I
at the
was
end of
just telling a buddy this. He was talking about getting a Rottweiler, and he was like, "Yeah, I know they like a aggressive breeder, like they're a protection dog." I said, not all Rottweilers are the same.
the day. No,
Not all of them are going to bite a man. Not all of them are going to try and test a man or somebody. And some will, some won't. I mean, and I told him, I was like, you just got to know who you getting your dog from, the right questions to ask, what to look for, and that. I mean, and you go from there.
yeah, man. And the dog game today is so different from when I was coming up. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I was around so young to witness not only the dog, but the mindset of the people who had the dogs around that time.
Right.
The loyalty to the breed. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The competition. You know what I mean? That's one thing that's gone today is the competitiveness. You know what I mean? Everybody and it's nothing wrong. You know, everybody people gotta understand to put their personal life and dogs in separate categories at the end of the
Yeah.
day. You know what I mean? A lot of people are you'll say something about somebody's dog and they take it personal like you're talking about them. And you know what I mean? It's like we talking about the dogs at the end of the day. Why are you taking this so personal? You know what I
Right.
mean? And a lot of times if I'm pointing something out and it's something that you should look at to fix. It
Yeah.
ain't hate, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
even with me coming up, you know what I mean? That's why I like about being around the older guys because the constructive criticism. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I took the hate for help at the end of the day. You know what I
Right.
mean? I didn't take it for hate. I took it for help. If they saying something like, no, this such and such, that's going on. I went back in the lab and fixed it. You know
Right.
what I mean? I didn't look at it and was like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Woo, woo. You can't, and that's when people do that, that's what the term kennel blind come from.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you ain't not really seeing what you're not really looking at your dog at the end of the day. You
Right.
know what I mean? You thinking what you got is everything and it's perfect. But when people point certain things out, you don't want to hear. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. It is people that will hate on you. You know what I mean? So you gotta know dogs at the end of the day too. You know what I
Right.
mean? You got people that hate on you. You got people that won't that point out certain things just because they don't probably like you as a person or
Yeah.
you got something better than them at the end of the day and they want to bring you down. But that's the reason you need to learn the standards. You need to learn the different breeds. You know what I mean? You need to go to the different yards. That's another thing that's way different from back then. A lot of these people don't even come visit the yard no more.
No, they don't.
They buying pictures. I mean, they buying puppies off Facebook pictures and videos. You
Yeah,
feel me? Don't even come see the parents. Don't want to know like what else they produce. Is there any other family members around? None of that, man. It's just literally a picture. What how big the dog gonna be, and what color he is. You
right.
know what I mean? It's I'm like, man, this is weird. Don't get me wrong, and I think that's why dog sales and people getting into dogs is at a hiatus right now because it's like almost easy to do. You know what I mean these
Yeah,
days because a lot of these people don't really have a real background in dogs at the end of the day. You know what I
no,
mean? Since COVID and all that started, people just jumped in it as a money grab. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Oh, Merle in, let me go get Merle. Oh, the Borble in, let me go get me a Borble.
yeah,
All the Kangaroo, you see now the last Star Guardians are big. Oh, let me go get me a Central Asian or a Kangaroo. Like it's
yeah,
just whatever popular, that's what people grabbing, and people are buying it. You know what I mean? Without
yeah,
actually question the breeder, like how much experience do you have with this dog? How
right.
many litters have you had? How many litters have your stud produced? And if he have produced a couple of litters, what they look like, what they do. People don't ask them kind of questions no more. I know me personally at the end of the day, when people hit me up, you know what they say? Man, what size, how big they gonna be? What color they gonna be? And I'm
Yeah,
like, don't get me wrong. I try to put as much video and pictures of the dogs, you know what I mean, as I can, but I still expect a little bit more question than that. You know
right.
what I
Like,
mean? Like,
yeah, how long you gonna live or stuff like that.
right, the life
Yeah,
expectancy, what they actually do, how they around kids. What made you get into this? You know what I mean? Like, you don't get none of those questions no more. Man,
yeah,
can I come? Now I get a couple of people. I kind of make people visit the yard. That I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? Even
yeah,
when you say that you want to get the dog just based off picture video. I invite every last person who getting the dog come to the house. You know what I mean? Don't go
right.
off the pictures and videos. Come
Yeah,
to the house. I want you to actually see what you're getting. I'm not
yeah,
one of those people who go meet you in the local gas station or meet you at the local store. No,
yeah,
come see the dogs. If you spending money with me, you know what I mean. Why? To me, that's send off. To me, when people do that, you hiding something at the end of the day. A lot of people say it to be on the safe side and be like, oh yeah, I'm just being safe and protecting my dogs, my property. I understand that too. But me, I got real protection, dog. I
right.
ain't really worried about you coming over here and doing nothing. You feel me?
Yeah,
I conceal the carry and everything like that. So I'm not worried about you coming over here doing nothing. My dogs actually make it do what it do.
right.
When people going out here meeting you and you don't get me wrong, like I say, it's the safety of your home and all that. But to me, you hiding something. It's either you don't want me to see the parents for some particular reason, or you don't want me to see the temperament of the parents for some particular reason. But I
Right.
can't just buy a dog meeting you in a local gas station or a local place and just literally getting a puppy and I ain't seen none but pictures and videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
That don't work for me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
I
need to see
agree.
what I'm buying. I need to feel on what I'm buying at the end of the day.
Right.
People, dog, people Photoshop pictures all the time at the end of the day. The dog
Easy.
could be crazy, easty, westy, rear ends
Yeah.
could be messed up, but you could fix that in Photoshop. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So if you ain't going over there to see what you're getting hands on, you really don't know what you're getting. And I done seen a lot of people get messed around like that. You
Right.
feel? So yeah, man, you just gotta be educated and make the right decisions in the dog game. You know what I mean? Because you'll run into a lot of grimy people. You'll run into a lot
Yeah.
of good people, but you'll run into a lot of grimy people too.
Right.
On the real.
Yeah. I mean, that was man. That was a nice piece right there, man. I mean, I
So,
agree.
for sure.
So the people around you, the older guys around you, they really molded you into doing this. So
Hmm.
what were some of the things they taught you or told you?
Man, everything, man. Really everything, man. Like being around them, I was around them like I said, man, 11 years old. You know what I mean? And they were so they be like they was big people in Chicago as far as dogs anyway. So that
Yeah.
was the first good thing about being with them because they was known people with known dogs. You know what I mean? They weren't just people dealing with dogs. Everybody knew them out here, all the big trainers, people from out of town. You know what I mean? Everybody knew who they were. So with me being with them and being so impressed with the stuff that they was doing and when they was talking to people, that made me want to get into the books. Like I became a nerd early, you know what I mean? So they taught me standards, you know what I mean, learning the different dog breeds and learning everything about them. Don't
Yeah.
just look at the dog and know the name. I
Right.
want to know everything about them. I want to know where they come from. I want to know how they was bred up. I want to know the reasons for them and all that. And with me learning all that, that's what really got me like really in tune with the dogs. And I think that's the people. I mean, that's the part that uh the exciting part that people don't realize about dogs at the end of the day is that every dog got a history. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Every dog got a purpose. You feel me? It wasn't just dogs that just dropped from anywhere and just, oh yeah, this came from this countryside and they came out the woods and voila, it's a rock roller. Like,
Right.
no, every dog was bred up from different breeds until it became consistent. It did the job, you know what I mean, on whatever it was bred to do, and that was the breed at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every dog came from multiple dogs. You know what I mean? And
Right.
every dog was bred for a purpose. Every dog had a job. You feel me? Now I don't know so much about the toy dogs. You know you got your little terriers and all that. That was
I
good
know
for like
some of them did like some ratting stuff.
yeah, ratting and stuff like that. I was about to
Yeah.
get into rodents and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
every dog got a reason for being here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It wasn't a situation where they were just doing it to get a look. And when you realize that, to me, that's one of the most exciting parts about dogs and really learning the history on it because you really that you really be like, damn, that's amazing. Like they really use this dog to pull wagons, or they really use this dog to, you know, with the dog man, he had him going house to house as the tax guy for
Yeah.
protection work because he getting threatened all the time. Like you feel me? It's all that is like amazing to me. I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe it's not to other people, but to me, that's what made me really get into it, and then that's what made me want to be around them because you had to be like that around them. You know what I
Right.
mean? The people that they dealing with and all that. You don't want to be the guy with them and don't know nothing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I wanted to learn all of it early. So by the time I was like 15, 16, I knew probably as much as just the grown men at the end of the day. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because I was just so involved and I just wanted to learn so much about it. And you know
Right.
what I mean? And that's what really got me to understand and to do what I do. When and the crazy part is when I first started doing what I was doing, they didn't even know what I was doing. Like when I told them I was trying to make a breed out of Colossus, they didn't know what I was doing. They was like, "You trying
Yeah.
to do what?" I'm like, "Man, I'm gonna make Colossus into a breed." They're like, "What you finna make a line off Colossus?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
technically, but I'm finna turn it into a consistent type where we gonna see Colossus all the time." So I don't
Can you
know
hear me?
if you can hear me
I can hear
over
you.
here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let me see.
Yeah, I was getting a message. I can hear you though for sure. Your screen went out.
Um,
I can hear you fine, bro.
no, it's
The screen.
the connection.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on his end though. 'Cause my screen's still up.
Is it? Let me. I don't know. It
Okay.
looked like I'm still on here.
Yeah. Okay. I ain't see you. I was still on, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I'm about to
Um.
say it looked good on my end.
Okay. Okay. All right. We good. We back. What did I leave off at?
You left off at creating. You was creating your own breed, and they didn't know what you were doing.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I was telling him. He was like, "Yeah, what you finna make a line off Colossus?" And I'm like, "Yeah, technically, but I'm finna turn this into a consistent thing where we gonna see Colossus all the time. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Colossus on a you know consistent scale."
Yeah.
So he was like, "All right, bet I'ma see." And as the years going by, you know, I'm constantly bringing different dogs, and after a while, they start realizing like, hold on, like all you dogs that you bring, low key, they start to look alike. You know what I mean? Like I get what you, yeah, I get what you're doing now. The only
Yeah.
person out the group who really knew what I was doing was Tim. Tim Odom. Because he was doing the exact same thing that I was with the Ileana Bloodmaster. So he the only one that really understood, and me and Tim used to talk to each other all the time, pretty much every single day, just talking about the dogs different ways that we breed them, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean, talking about inbreeding and outcrossing, and a lot of we took a lot of dog trips. Matter of fact, a lot of the outcrossing and stuff that I did was with Tim. You know what I mean? With him taking when we going out of town to different kennels, and
Yeah.
uh, a lot of my stuff, me and Tim did a lot together at the end of the day. So yeah, taking that and really building on it. That's how the Colossal Master was established at the end of the day.
Yeah. That's what's
Uh,
up. So how old were you when you had your first litter?
uh, Probably about 18, 18, 19 years old, about
Okay.
your age. Yeah,
Yeah.
about your age.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's another thing. Like the dog breeding game, man, you get your ups and downs, man. It ain't always good and glamorous. You feel me?
Yeah.
Stuff happen with litters. You just stuff that happen with the females. So you got to prepare yourself for everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything is a learning situation. You know what I mean? You sometimes you might have a successful litter. Sometimes you might have something you gotta help out with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might have to bottle feed. You might have a puppy that's fading. You know what I mean? You got all kind of different situations. You might have mamas that don't even want to be mamas and walk away from the whole litter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you just got to prepare yourself for everything that come up. You know what I mean? But
Right.
everything that happened to you, you know what I mean, within breeding, there's a learning lesson at the end of the day. You get a lot of people who get discouraged by that and be like, "Oh, I ain't doing this no more. It's a wrap, man. I ain't lost all these puppies." But no, just learn from it at the end of the day. Don't
Yeah.
don't give up. No, don't give up. You gotta learn. You know what I mean? Learn. Look at your situation and fix it. You know what I mean? What you looked at what you did wrong, and the next time to come around, change it. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's all you got to do. It's all about learning. Ain't nobody gonna come into the game knowing exactly what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
your dogs ain't gonna all be perfect. You ain't going. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and as long as you do it, your dog still ain't gonna be perfect. You
Right.
feel me? It's always gonna be stuff that you gotta change. Yeah.
So, get into the colossal mastiff. I mean, the characteristics, the measurements, like as far as height, weight. Get into that.
Um, there. Okay, I'm gonna get into the standard of the size.
Okay, yeah,
The males are about 140 to about 170 pounds.
that's a good
They
weight. So,
30.
yeah.
They 30 about 30 to 34 inches.
Okay,
The females are about 120 to 140, and they're about 27 to about 29, 30 inches.
okay,
Um, so they pretty tall dogs. They took long tall dogs at the end of the day.
right.
So it's not like when you hear a lot of people like, oh, this 180-pound dog can't move. No, that's a short 26-inch
Yeah,
contact dog. That's 180 pounds. It's not
spread
a
out.
dog where it's right, where it's more evenly
Yeah,
distributed. You know what I mean? At the end of
right,
the day. So they move pretty good, man, to be big dogs. They got real good natural protection instincts. Great with kids. You know what I mean? I try to show videos with them with the kids all the time. They can pretty much do everything that you want the dog to do. To be honest with you, I didn't see dogs. You know, I'm from Chicago. A lot. I ain't, we ain't got a lot of wooden areas, and we don't got hogs and all that stuff out here.
yeah,
But I didn't seen the dogs go to different places and do the job.
right.
You know what I mean? Do great on farms and stuff like that. And they never seen that out here coming from where I'm at. So
Yeah,
like I say, that's a prime example of what you put into the dog can give you back. You know what I
right.
mean? Like they real intelligent. They easy to train. It only take me about 2 weeks to house and cage train the dog. You
Wow.
know what I mean? Like that's how and every dog that I got in my house, 2 weeks, every last one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, Another thing, 6, 7 months, they showing protection right out the gate. I don't know if you've seen my recent videos, but I've been showing like Grendel and Synovia as they growing up and how they reacted in the cars and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yep. I've been
But
seeing that.
no, Synovia is only 7 months old. Um, Grendel was a year old,
Yeah,
but
she
I've been
pretty.
showing videos of Grendel doing that at like 6, 7 months old. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So around that time, that's when they start turning on and really, feeling stuff. I'm not saying that they're gonna go out and kill nobody, but
right.
they starting to show what they are around that
Yeah,
age. You know what I mean? So you can really build on that.
right.
But it's really just on you. You know what I mean? I ain't never had a situation. Well, I know you. you got situations now where you got dogs turning on owners and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
ain't never had a situation in 20 years where I had a dog bite me, bite a
Mm.
kid, bite a random person for no reason. You know what I mean? I take my dogs out. Like sometimes I don't even have them on leash. You know what I mean? I go out to the field, let them run, multiple dogs. People walk
Yeah.
past, they fine. You know what I mean? So it's really the time that you put into the dog at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Right.
As long as you play your part, they'll do everything. They'll be everything that you want them to be. You know what I mean? And in comparison, like I was kind of talking about earlier, in comparison to them to the other massive breeds, they like I say, they do the job. They are them on a way more consistent basis.
Right.
And I didn't seen a lot of different breeds. I didn't seen a lot of different kennels. I didn't have people pit like different kennels come over here to see the dogs.
Yeah.
And the comparison is night and day. You know what I mean? They actually, when people come over here, they be like, bro, like these ain't even dogs. Like, what are these? Like, eight, seven, yeah, because they never seen nothing like that before. A lot of
Right.
people talk about it. You know what I mean? But oh yeah, my dog doing this. And when they come and see the dogs, they be like, man, they real life like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, this ain't no fabrication. You know what I mean? I ain't just speaking them up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
these
I
are
ain't
real
trying to make them
deal.
sell. It's the real deal. And they really understand it. And that's how I get a lot of sales just based off that. I get a couple of presser guys and stuff. I had a couple of presser people come over here, and the first thing they say is, "Man, bro, I ain't even gonna lie. I thought this what the presser was supposed to be."
Yeah.
You
Wow.
feel me? Like that's you know what I mean. I'm like, damn, that's I guess so. You know what I mean? Like, dude, they pretty
Yeah.
similar, but the drive not there. You know what I mean? The
Right.
attitude not there. And that's it's not just for press. It's within all them breeds, the
Yeah.
Border, the Corso, the press. It's not there on a consistent basis no more. Back in
Right.
the day, the older dogs was like that, but they've been so crossed up and bred in certain directions and all that, but they not really bred to the standard of the dogs no more.
Yeah.
Now they're temperament all over the place. You know what I mean? And the one thing about them, with me doing it for 20 years, it's a breed that's not tarnished.
Yeah.
I don't have the other hands of different people bringing in different breeds and doing
Right.
what they want to do and all that. And 3 years ago is when I first had people come on as breeders. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So outside of me, it's only what three people outside of me that got the dogs. But that was
Okay.
literally 3 years ago. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For 17 years, this is all me. You know what I mean? Breeding, doing the breeding, keeping dogs that complement each other, breeding those dogs together. Just keeping the best of the best and
Yeah.
establishing a line and keeping those the best of the best dogs. So
Right.
I never had hands with somebody getting a dog and I'm gonna put uh a livestock garden you did, or I'm finna put oh, you know what I mean? I never
Yeah.
had those problems, and I think that's the reason why the dogs are coming out so consistent. You know what I
Right.
mean? Real life sticking with a family of dogs. I took the whole like with me being around pit bulls and all that so much, I kind of took that breeding program, the way that they bred those dogs,
Yeah.
and used that into my program to get my
Mm.
dogs started. Because I was so impressed about how they put them dogs together. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So when I seen that, I was like, okay, this kind of give me a blueprint what I need to do to build, you know what I mean, build my program up. And that's pretty much exactly what I did. Started with them
Yeah.
and, outcrossed, got my beginning dogs and ran from there. Breeding family members and breeding, line breeding and keeping the best of the best. And like I say, man, you get good results out there in the day. You get
Right.
good results at the end of the day.
That's what's up.
Hmm.
So I mean, you sold you had people buy dogs from all over,
Yeah.
correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Just all in the country, nothing outside the country yet.
No, not yet. I had a
Okay.
couple of people outside the country hit me up, but
Yeah.
the transporting fees and all that, you know what I mean. So a lot of times, I guess they be thinking I'm gonna pay for the transportation. I'd be like, no, that's part of you. Yeah,
Yeah.
you hit me up about the dog. That's you gonna have to pay for that. So yeah. But other than that, yeah, I got them all over the place, man. Florida, Texas, Indiana, Iowa, Baltimore, um, Tennessee, West Virginia, um, everywhere, man. They really populating. And then I got my breeders. I got a breeder in Pennsylvania. I got a breeder in Georgia. And I got a breeder in Iowa. I got
Yeah.
another breeder that's gonna start breeding in Indiana. Actually, two breeders in Indiana. So, like I say, it's becoming a thing. You know what I mean? Where people are really paying attention to the dogs and really admiring what they about and what they do. I'm actually throwing a Colossal Mastiff show June 21st. It's gonna be
Okay.
here in Chicago, where all the out of towners gonna come bring their dogs. We gonna do obedience, protection, and damn, can't think of the last category. Um, I can't think of it. It come to me, but it's gonna be bred pretty much like a AKC type show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just really letting people see the breed, see them up close and personal instead of just on TV and YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, see how they are around kids, get some networking going on with the different breeders. It's gonna be a pretty huge event. Like I don't know if you got anything going around that time, but
Yeah.
feel free to come
I ain't gonna
through.
lie. I'm thinking about it. Like as you said, I'm like, man, I think I might step out there. That sound like it'd be
Yeah, it's
something
gonna be
good
nice, man. It's gonna be
for
real nice,
sure.
man. We gonna have vendors out there. We're gonna have leashes, collars, dog food, all that for sale. The guy that cause I feed my dogs raw and kibble, so my guy that actually got the raw, he'll be out there. Shout out to True Blue Meat. That's what he calls his meat, True Blue,
Okay.
and real
Hey,
good.
send the payment invoice through. True Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. But yeah,
Oh, for real, though. I
yeah.
feel
Y'all
you.
check him out though,
Yeah, check him out though, man. He got
for
some good
sure.
stuff. He definitely do, and he can pretty much get you whatever you want. As far as raw wise, what I mean, goat milk, everything you need. It's
Oh, he
and the
got it.
raw within itself is it's a good combination. It's bone, you get your beef, you get your tripe, you get everything all in one. So it's definitely a one. My dog's been
Okay,
on it since they was puppies, and I ain't never had a problem with it.
that's what's up.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let me see. Let me see. Uh, so were there some problems you faced when you were developing the colossal mastiff?
Oh yeah man. When they was coming up, a couple of dogs, I had a couple of things I wanted to fix. Like I had a couple of dogs that was Easty Western, so that was one thing I wanted to fix. More so,
Yeah.
but before I got into the actual structural part of the dog, I wanted to make sure the temperament was up to par. So
Right.
every dog ain't coming straight out the gate being fired up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got a couple of dogs that do it. You get a couple of dogs that don't. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you got to call out the dogs that don't and breed upon the dogs that do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uh, the most important part is being able to keep the dogs so you can actually see how the dog's turning out. You know what I mean? You can't just
Yeah.
base a good looking dog at 8 weeks and be like, oh yeah, this is the one he gonna be everything. It's like no, you don't know. He's just a good looking dog at 8 weeks. He
Right.
ain't showing nothing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you gotta be able to keep dogs for a while to actually see the temperament and how the dog's coming up. So with me in the beginning, not really being known like that, and what I mean, uh, I ain't really selling dogs on a huge scale. I got to keep a lot of dogs. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
got to weed out what I needed and kept what I want. You know what I mean? And
Right.
kept going from there. So the temperament is one thing that I was uh definitely on and definitely want to keep up. Um, After a while, height I want to that's structurally though. I want to lift. I want to get them taller. I want to straighten them up, and I want to fix the rear end. You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
you use so much neo and all these big dogs, you know what I mean?
Oh
You
yeah,
can
you
get
gonna get
wild
it.
hot dogs and all that. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to get dogs that was more structural in tone, structural correct, should I say? And but also kept that temperament and also be able to actually move. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
one of the big things with big dogs. A lot of people think that, and I ain't gonna say think that because it's true. You know what I mean? You got a lot of big dogs that's just lazy as hell, don't want to do nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being honest, what I mean, they want to just sit on the couch and not do shit. But
Right.
I wanted a big dog that's against what everybody think that they are. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Stuff that you read about in the history books, and you looking up them old dogs and Molosser breeds, you hear, oh, these is like Roman dogs that helped the war, people in war and all that.
Right.
I want the dogs that like when you look at them, you be like, okay, I can actually see that dog doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was one of the main things, and just trying to get as close as a good all around dog as I possibly can, and I still do that to this day. You know what I mean? Don't
Right.
get me wrong, I got some pretty nice dogs, but at the end of the day, they ain't perfect. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm still correcting stuff. I still be fixing stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm as a breeder, I think that's every breeder goal. We all know ain't no perfect dog, but we gonna do everything we can to get close to it. You
For
know what I
sure.
mean? That's the mindset that you gotta have.
For sure.
Real.
So, you're the owner, or are you a part? You're a partial, or you're the creator of the Midwest Band Dogs and Molosses group on Facebook.
Oh, that's my actual page. Yeah, I
Okay.
actually paid for myself. Yeah.
Okay. So, what made you want to make that group, and what was the process like?
Um, First off, I used to be on. I'm still on a lot of the other band dog groups and just dog groups in general.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make my own because a lot of these groups, man. To be honest with you, a lot of arguments, man. They just want to argue all day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And don't get me wrong. I didn't get into it with a couple of people on the groups and stuff like that, but I wanted to make a page where it was more so just strictly dogs and
Right.
not really people personal agendas. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the one thing I do appreciate about my page, we ain't had no arguments on there. It's literally just people posting dogs. You like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. It's not
Yeah.
nobody kind of hating and saying nothing crazy. You
Right.
get on some of these other pages, they first thing they saying is clown emojis and all kind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
be like, I like it. It's smooth. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
really people networking and meeting each other. I actually had a show, well, meet and greet, should I say, with the people from the page last year, the
Yeah.
Midwest page. It was called the Midwest Showdown. You know what I mean? So I had
Right.
people come out from the page, uh, meet each other in person instead of Facebook. You know what I mean?
Right.
And seeing pictures, and it was a good time,
Man,
man.
that's
Like I
what's up.
yeah, and I think people don't realize that, and that's why I said in the beginning, like people got to learn how to separate your personal life from the dogs because when you everybody gonna big they dogs up. Don't get me wrong, you know what I mean. Everybody is. So
Yeah.
ain't nobody gonna sit up here and say they dogs ain't shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? Nobody gonna do that. But when you
Yeah.
meet some of these people in person, man, they cool people at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Now, and they dogs, and a lot of people dogs be different in person than they do on Facebook. Some people
Yeah.
just don't know how to take good pictures. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Plain and simple. So, and I done seen a lot of dogs like that. A lot of dogs I done probably seen on Facebook. And I'm like, that dog's alright. And then I'll see them in person. I'm like, oh man, I didn't know that dog was like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you get to put a face, an actual real face on the dog in person, and you get to meet the person who got the dog. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like even with that, man, it was real nice, man. Everybody cool. Everybody met each other. We had a good time. We took pictures. It was man, it was just a good time. It was fun. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm actually gonna throw another one after I do the Colossal Master show because
Man,
I've
I
been
think.
trying to do the Colossal Master show for like 3, 4 years. So I
Yeah.
gotta do this, yeah. But yeah, man, you gotta come to both if you got time. You know
I'm
what I
about to say
mean?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and make it to them.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a time at the end
Cause
of the day.
I got people that's in your group. I'm in the group too, but I got some family members that's in that group. Man, I think I might try and get them to come down there with me, and we
Come on out, have a good
yeah,
time, man. Like I said, we give away different prizes and stuff like that, for the dogs, all that, man.
right,
So come on out, man, have a good time, man, and kick it with us.
for
It's
sure,
all love,
yeah,
man. It's all good.
for sure, man.
All
I
good.
appreciate that. so so you kind of got some different colors. Actually, let me restate this. So the Colossal Mastiff actually you have registered as a breed, right?
Yeah, through the American Dog Federation.
Okay, okay. So what was the process like for that, and doing that?
Uh,
What's the requirements?
I had to present to him because back, when I first got into him, I just had a list of papers with the breeds that I was doing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I kept it up just writing it down myself. So I presented them that I had like I forgot how many generations I was in around that time. I was probably around like eight. I probably had to be around 8 generations in around that time when I even presented the dogs to them. So I showed them all the breedings that I did as far as the lineage of the dog. The little paperwork that I had from the beginning dogs, because my uncle got all the paperwork from the original dogs, the pit bull, the borble, all that. He got all the paperwork from that.
yeah,
So I sent them that. We put all that in, and it started from the lineage that I gave them, and then they registered those dogs. So everything after that. was pretty much paper trail to the dogs that you see today. So
Yeah.
every time I have a litter, of course, I'm registering straight through them. They put it in the system, and it's going from there.
Okay.
Mhm. So yeah, it was just pretty much a situation just showing them the lineage to the dog. I'm actually a judge for them too. Yeah, I got my judge license through them too, so
Oh,
I can
okay.
those and all that.
Wow, that's what's up.
Uh,
Dang. Okay. So with that, you kind of have to have some consistencies in the dogs for it to be registered as a breed, correct?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They want to see
Okay.
they definitely want to see that lineage. They want to see where the dog's coming from. They want to
Yeah.
see you feel me? They want to see a family tree. You can't just bring
Yeah.
them just bring them two dogs and the litter and say, oh, here, I want to register the dogs and call this up. Like, no,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna work that way.
Right.
Anybody can do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah.
So what are some consistencies with the colossal mastiff, like as far as like color or
Color wise, they have all black brindle, pretty much multiple shades of brindle. You get the black brindle, you get the mahogany brindle, you get that tawny color like snow is.
yeah, she
Uh,
pretty. I ain't gonna she a pretty dog.
real nice dog. You'll
Man.
get that. You'll get all black occasionally, not too often. More so on the
Wait,
black
what's
brindle
that?
side. Say it again.
What's that color? What was that you called it again?
All black.
Oh, I thought you said like ball black or something. Okay.
Oh no
Oh,
no.
okay. Oh,
All black
all black.
and
Okay.
blue and blue. You'll get blue.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're pretty much the colors that they come in.
Yeah.
Like I say, height wise and size wise, they all pretty much coming out real consistent as far as that.
Right.
All the males come up 30 plus. All the females are 27 plus. Weight wise, they all between 120, 140 pounds. Males, they all between that 140, 170 range. I got a couple of
Okay.
males that's bigger than that. That
Yeah.
big.
Hmm.
But they all within that same range of dogs.
Yeah.
The one thing is besides the height and weight, temperament. The
Hmm.
temperament and the look. They all got the same look. You know what I mean? If you look,
Yeah.
and that's why I posted Colossus because I wanted people to see the dogs that I originally started with, and then look
Yeah.
at the dogs that you see today and the consistency from 20 years ago up until this point, and then seeing multiple dogs look like that.
Right.
So you got the look, and then the way they act. You know what I mean? Every dog, for the most part, nowadays when I'm having litters, I can really say about 80% of the litter coming out working dogs. You
Okay.
know what I mean? It's not a
Yeah, that's
situation
fire.
where I got one or two dogs doing it and the rest of them is like pet quality. No,
Right.
the majority of the litter are coming out doing the job and they showing it
Okay.
early. You know what I mean? 6, 7 months.
Yeah.
They turning right on. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
almost start doing adaptation work around that time and they gonna exceed. They gonna excel. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, prime example, I brought Brindle when he was 7 months old to start his agitation. Matter of fact, that was the only time I did something with him. I still ain't did nothing with him since that day. But he was out there 7 months old with grown dogs and showed out 7 months old. Grown rock rollers, band dogs, pressers, showed out. He was the only one out there making it do what to do. Seven
Okay.
months old in comparison to grown dogs. So
Dang.
yeah, they really got it. It's really installed in them.
That's what's up. Um, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? So before, did you have some dogs or some today that like might have been a little bit hotter or might have been a little bit more wary of humans than others?
Okay, you said that I have dogs back then
That,
or today?
both. I mean, today, like, do you have some back then and today that might have been a little bit hotter than others, or were you kind of nervous about taking them around people, or you never really had that problem?
No, I ain't never really had that problem. Now they all
Okay.
pretty hot at the end of the
Yeah.
day. You know what I mean? They like my dogs in my house right now. They all some pretty turned up dogs, but no, I ain't never
Right.
really had a problem where I couldn't take them out in public.
Okay.
I take them all out in public. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's part of me bonding because you got to socialize the dog.
Right.
You can't just keep the dog in the backyard and chained up and you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, now it's kind of a bluff if the dog doing it. The dog ain't
Yeah.
never been nowhere. So of course he gonna protect his home. You know what I
Right.
mean? He gonna be the toughest thing in America behind that
Yeah.
gate. But if you take him out, is he gonna really still have that same attitude?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. So you gotta socialize your dog and take your dog out to different places, show them different things, show them different people, show them kids, show them cars, different noises. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you want your dog as confident as possible. When I'm picking
Right.
dogs out my litters, I'm picking confident. I'm not picking the dog that's doing the most biting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not picking the dog that's shaking up the other puppies. I don't care nothing about that. I want the dog that the dog that's confident. You know why? Because the confident dog, I could teach anything.
Yeah.
You feel the
Yep.
biting dog, that's fine. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that might just be he might just be a one way dog, but that's all he want to do. A confident dog want to do everything. Whatever
Right.
you put that dog in front of, he want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm picking when I'm picking my puppies. It's all about confidence. You know, the real.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. So I think we kind of getting a little close to the end. I think I'm running out of questions for you. So anybody in the comments got any questions or anything? I'm trying to think and see if there's something else I want to ask you. I mean, okay,
Oh
yeah, I
yeah.
did. So I mean, you have consistencies now, but with the crossing, you get variance sometimes. Did you see any variance when you were crossing?
When I was crossing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, for sure. I had dogs that was looking different, looking like the other breed, or looking like you know what I mean. You get longer muscle dogs, you'll get shorter muscle dogs, you'll get
Yeah.
dogs that's more compact, like short wise. Uh, just coats will be different. You'll get
Yeah.
dogs with longer coats, you get dogs with shorter coats. Like so, you gotta know your goal, and you gotta in your selection gotta be on point. You know what I
Right.
mean? You gotta know how to get a litter and pick the dog for your next step as far as your breeding program. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's relating as far as like look wise, temperament wise, and all that. That's related to your program. You don't go get a dog that's totally opposite of what you've been doing because that's
Right.
gonna throw everything off. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you want to constantly pick the same type of dog, but in an improved version of it. At the end of the
Right.
day, every breeding you do should be improvement. You know what I mean? You're not breeding,
For
at least
sure.
with me. You know what I mean? I'm breeding to improve. I'm not breeding to stay the same. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I love color. Oh, yes,
Oh,
I
you cut
do.
out.
Do you love wow. Color too?
You cut
What?
out. You cut out. Hold on. Hold on. You cut. I can't hear you.
Yeah. I like color.
It sound like your baby talking.
Uh-oh. I see
I
the
hear
thing.
I hear your baby. I don't hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Okay, bye.
She called you. I think. I don't.
Yeah. I see where was.
Sound like somebody on the phone. Like you on the phone.
I'm
It
finally
sound like it. Yeah, that's what it sound like. Like somebody calling you.
I'm trying to hear what I
Hold on, let me. I'm gonna remove you right quick, and then we're gonna try and. I think his baby calling him on another phone or something. Hello.
Yellow.
I still. Man, let me. I don't.
Okay, I'm back. You back?
I can. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
I'm sorry. What's going on? Okay.
man. I'm like. It sound like your baby on the phone or something. I heard a little girl like she was saying, "Hey,
No,
hello."
that's my girl. She was trying to help see what was going on with it too.
Oh, okay,
Uh huh.
okay. Um, so before when you like first started this, did you see a lot of band dogs going on or band dog breedings going on around the time?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
man. Yep. It used to be the band dog. When I first started off, it was a band dog message board, and there was a couple of later on. There was a couple of band dog pages. The
yeah,
band dog message board was like everybody who had band dogs. They were talking about the history of John Swinford, what they was doing with their different programs. But on the message board, you had to really come with your stuff on there. Like I was
yeah,
super young on there. I probably was like 16, 17 when I first got on there. But them people was harsh. Like if you talking up with your dog better
yeah,
do that, or they gonna clown you on that. Yeah, like they
yeah,
weren't playing around, and then they continued that on into it was a Facebook page. It was just called I think it was called like the American Band Dog page or something like that. So just American Band Dog something.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of different band dog breeders on there. You know what I mean? So I started off on there after the message board, putting out dogs. Didn't nobody know who I was. Um, and just really building myself. And low key, the way that I built myself was helping people out. Like
Right.
when people had problems on the page, I comment right under they post and be like, yeah, do this. This is how you can fix it. Woo, woo. So when I started fixing people problems, that's when people start really paying attention to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I had to find some kind of way to get in the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
To recognize what I was doing. So I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let people know that I actually know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And then people start recognizing. So once I start doing that, people start paying attention. Then you go through your steps, man. People want to see the dogs. People want to see what they do. You know what I mean? So it's a process at the end of the day, getting there and getting your name out there. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you're gonna have people trying to ask you everything about your dog. They're gonna really
Right.
test you. And do your dog, you see that today. That's the first thing people write. What it do though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the dog
Yeah.
do? You know what I mean? So that was happening way back then. So that's why I had to start working dogs and doing protection work because I didn't want people to question me in no aspect. You know what I
Right.
mean? I want people to literally look at the dogs and be like, ah, he know what he doing. They look
Yeah.
good, they working. I done seen it with the kids. I done seen them in other situations outside the house. They everything that he say that they are. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's always the goal of what I wanted the breed to be.
Okay. Uh, I think I found this question. I had it in my head for a minute. I lost it. So I see you doing a lot of I see you do a little bit of that yourself in some of these groups when these people for example, one of them was this woman bred a giant schnauzer to a mastiff. She said it wasn't too tall or what the guardian instincts wasn't that good in the giant schnauzer. And I seen you kind of call her out for that and like no, the giant schnauzer can do that job. You just bred that dog just to breed it. You can have a reasoning for it.
Oh yeah, because you get a lot of that. You get a
Yeah,
lot of people who just breed dogs just because. You feel me? Like, and then you'll question about why they did the breeding, and they tell you exactly what the dog they use do already. So it's like what's the what you crossing for there? Like
yeah,
if that's what you're looking for, and you literally just said, oh yeah, that's what I want to breed for this, but the breed that you use already do it. What's your reason for crossing?
right.
I did what I did because the the protection and the guardian aspect of the master was going downhill. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? As we see today, you know what I
yeah,
mean? It definitely went downhill. A lot of these protection breeds are pets these days. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I wanted a dog that was all around good, that he could actually protect, and he's still good with the kids and the family. And if you go on barbecues, whatever the situation is, you can have a dog right there by you, and he's absolutely fine. But
right.
if somebody try you, you know what I mean, in that kind of scenario, he gonna realize do the job. He
Yeah,
not gonna just bark and growl and pray to God that the person run away. He gonna actually protect you at the end of the day.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I did it. You know what I mean? A lot of these people, it's just like you do realize there's dogs around here that do that already, right?
right.
You know what I mean? And then a lot of these people ain't even dealing with dogs that's quality. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like, you get some people that cross dogs, they put that amazing stat about what they want the dogs to be, and they ain't even using dogs that do it in the first place. You feel me? So it's just
yeah,
dogs. Like, you talking about you want a protection dog, a dog that hunt rats, a dog that go do this, but the dogs that you use and don't do nothing. So
right.
it's just gonna miraculously happen? No, it don't
Yeah,
work that way. Because you know why they do that? That I realized they going off the history of the breed.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They going off, well, the Corso was bred to do this. The Rottweiler was bred. Yes, they were bred to do that. But guess what?
yeah,
Your dog has to be a representation of that.
right.
You feel me? It don't
Right.
mean just because you got the breed, it's gonna just naturally do it. No, you gotta have the dog that do it at the end of the day.
I'm about to
We
say
got
'cause-
good and bad at every breed. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Every
not all
breed.
dogs the same. You ain't gonna get the same thing from them. Some
Yeah.
lines is different inside those dogs. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about the Borbal. There's different lines of Borbals, mainly in
Mhm.
Africa, but there's different ones here in America too.
Yeah, they all
Yeah,
over the place. Nah, yeah,
you know,
and people breed for different things at the end of
right.
the day. You know what I mean? And that's at least how I always think it. I'm like, that's what people, you know what I mean, forget. It's like, man, when you into these breeds, it's about the breed. You know what I mean? It ain't about you. You know what I mean? You get so many people who disrespect the different breeds by throwing in the different crosses and all that. to me, when you do that, because I got my own breed,
Yeah.
when you do that, that's a slap in the face to the breeder, especially when you're not doing it to enhance nothing. You're just
Right.
literally doing it for your own personal use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you dealing with a breed, you like it at the end of the day. That's the reason.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of you dealing with it. So why bring in a whole another dog for your own interest?
Right.
Better what you got at the end of the day. When that's the whole point of breeding. You know what I mean? And then when you're dealing with different kennels of that breed, it's a team effort at the end of the day. You get a
Right.
lot, especially in the Corso world. That shit like World War III. You feel me? That they
Yeah.
I thought you hear about them arguing about the Corso. You feel me? Oh, it's mixed. You came from this, and I got this, and it's like, bro, it's about the dog at the end of the day. You know what I
Right.
mean? All y'all got y'all individual kennels. Realize what y'all flourish in as far as what y'all breed, and y'all put the dogs together from there. Somebody
Right.
might breed a better hair type. Somebody might breed a better structural dog. Somebody might breed a better temperament. Y'all put that together, and that voila, y'all better in the breed at the end of the
Yeah.
day because that's what it's about. It ain't about you. You know what I mean? It ain't about how much money you can make off your kennel and kennel name. It's about the dog at the end of the day, and I think people forget that. You know what I mean? Especially when you start making some money at the end of the day. You know
Right.
what I mean? They forget about the dog, and it's about them. It's more so how much money I can make,
Yeah.
and instead of me bettering the dog at the end of the day. You know
Right.
what I mean? And that's why I'm like, I hope my dog. And you can't control it. Don't get me wrong. You know, once the dog get popular and the world kind of dealing with it, you ain't really got a lot of control. But man, I hope if my dogs ever get to that point, I hope people do the best they can as far as keeping it a breed and keeping it as
Right.
is at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, for what it is, if you looking for if you coming to get a dog from me, you should be coming to get that dog because it's something that you got. It's a purpose for you getting that dog. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's not really a situation, and I get that too. That people just want to get a dog just to cross into what they got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, no, man, like because at the end of the day, it's not even the fact that I'm mad cross dogs, because I cross dogs. But it's like when you doing it, you gotta have a reason behind it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It ain't
Yeah.
just crossing dogs to get a big dog, or I want a dog that's gonna bite, so I'm gonna go get a dog for Lamone because his dog's big and they bite. No,
Right.
it gotta be a reason behind it at the end of the
Yeah.
day. And then where your mindset at as a breeder. You know what I mean? Like what you gonna do? What's the next step? You know what I mean? What's the process after this? You know
Right.
what I mean? You just keeping the dog to have an individual, or you doing this to build on something? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? A lot of people can't talk that talk at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, and they stuck it. No, I'm just getting a dog. Then when they say that, the next thing you know, they got a whole they breeders and got a name on it
Yeah.
years later. You know what I mean?
And they
So
got an LLC. So now they
yeah,
stamped. Yeah.
right. They got LC at the kennel and the breed and everything. Now they got something. They only did two breeds. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
just crazy out here
Not a
with that.
program, but some breedings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's not, no consistency, no nothing. You know what
Nope.
I mean? It's just different. You
Yeah,
know what
it
I mean?
is. I learned something from Mr. Price because that's where before I even started Catch Dog Concepts, I watched his interview with Joe at NWA County Corso. Shout out to him. Uh and he was just talking about the Borble, and I was like so intrigued about it. And I actually saw a Borble. My cousin owned it. I thought it was a real like muscular English Mastiff that was a little shorter. But
Mm,
my point is though that Mr. Price, I talked to him, and I was thinking about like, yeah, I want a Borble. I live in Michigan though. It get cold up here. And I'm like,
mm,
I don't know if the Borble gonna be able to do it. He live in Africa. Then I got Mr. Price on my show, and he's telling me, he's like, the Borble is a versatile dog. He can stay in different environments. I mean, it snows in Africa, and I had to think about that. I'm like, it snows in Africa on the mountains. So that's why when I say just pick up something from anybody that you talk to, pick up something that you think is right. You told me this before we even got on here. You can take a piece from somebody if you can, if they're trying to tell you something.
oh yeah, you can learn. You can
Yeah,
learn from everybody, man. You take the good part out and you make it work for you at the end of the day.
right.
You know what I mean? People gonna take good and bad information, true and false information, but you take what works for you and what makes sense, and you make it. You know what I mean? You build into something. And you
Yeah,
keep it with. You know what I mean? It no matter who it is. You know what I mean? You can learn from the person who you think don't know something. You know what I
right.
mean? Everybody got something to teach. So you, like I say, you take the good and you run with it at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's just how the game goes. That's how
so
life is at the end of the day. It ain't just
yeah,
dogs. That's life is.
yeah.
Real.
But I'm gonna take it in what you said in consideration about visiting people's kennels, just seeing their dogs. You a little close. I ain't gonna lie. So I think I might hit you up. I might try and set something up with you soon once I get everything on the flow.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Come through.
For sure.
That's what I like people to do, man. Come see what you getting. Come see the dogs,
Yeah.
man. Don't go off no damn Facebook picture, no Instagram video, man. Come see what you're getting in person. You feel me?
Right.
Actually see the dogs. Actually see how big they are, what they look like, what they actually do. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the dog might be too much for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know what I mean? And people don't realize that either. I could go meet you in the parking lot and give you a puppy, but you don't realize don't even know what you're getting. You
Right.
feel? You just
You ain't
looking at the
seen a
video,
parent. You ain't seen none of that.
ain't seen nothing, and you realize they ain't even seen the real temperament. You might have
No.
seen me on Facebook walking a dog around and all
Yeah.
that, but you don't know the temperament that the dog get. That dog could do that because I spent the time with the
I'm
dog
about to
to
say you
do
got that proper control over him to where you make him do what you want.
you might not know how to really deal with a dog like that. And
No.
guess what? Now you finna see the real temperament, and it might be something that you can't handle. You
Yep.
feel me? You might take that dog out in person, and he ready to go after somebody, or he ready to go
Yeah.
after the dog. Cause you get people that do crazy stuff. You get people that get a dog like that and want to go straight to the dog park and want to take the dog to the dog park.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this ain't that kind of dog. This
Trying to
ain't
get
laughing.
somebody dog ate alive.
Feel me?
Yeah.
You gotta put your dog in the right situation if you want the dog to succeed, and that's
Yeah.
what I do. You know what I mean? I'll never put my dog in a situation where it's gonna fail. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's about always putting your dog in a positive situation, always letting the dog win. You know what I mean? Making the dog feel confident and comfortable. You feel me? And the dog will be good for the rest of his life. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like these, they act like humans. You feel me? That's how smart they are, man. They real life act like humans. Like the dog's so smart, man. I could be in here sweeping. Dogs go grab the dustpan and bring it in here while I'm sweeping. You feel me? I got dogs,
Yeah.
man. I got to close my bathroom though because I got dogs. If I got the shower running, say I'm about to go to work or something, I got the shower running. If I don't got that dog closed, I'll go in the bathroom. The dog sitting in the shower on the real, like waiting to get washed up and everything. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they super extremely smart at the end of the day. You
Man,
know
that's
what I mean?
crazy.
So, hmm
Yeah. Oh man, I keep thinking of questions. I mean, this was a great episode. I'm gonna say that though, man. I appreciate you coming on.
yeah,
We didn't
man.
we cooked up. But so you live in Chicago and there's not a lot of woodlands or not a lot of like land. So how is it? What do you face some problems like managing a kennel in I want like kind of like in the city?
Mac, I'm in the suburbs now.
Yeah,
So in the city, I probably would. You know what I mean? I'm in the suburbs. It's a little bit more wooded out in the suburbs than it
right.
actually
It's
is
a
in the
little bit
city.
more room.
Yeah, but
Okay.
even over here, you know what I mean? It got its ups and downs at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Um, you know what I mean? Dealing with the dogs and all that. Luckily, I'm kind of cool with the police over here. You know what I mean? I don't really have no issues. My dogs don't get out or nothing like that, so it'd be pretty cool. They don't really trip. But over here you got a little bit more wildlife than in the city. You know what I mean? Like we got
Yeah.
foxes. You still see foxes and coyotes in the city, but we more so got them over here. We got deers, we got foxes, we got coyotes, we got skunks, groundhogs, all that. You'll see all that over here. So when I take the dogs out, like at nighttime, whatever, like that, I let the dogs go out there. You feel me? Because I
Yeah.
want to, I want to see the drive in them at the end
Right.
of the day. I want to keep that drive up. So I take the dogs out at like 2 in the morning. You know what I mean? Whatever out there we going to get.
Yeah.
So we done killed about 4 skunks already. We ain't ran into no coyotes. Every time I run into a coyote, it's taking the fuck off. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
don't know what to do with the dog. What else we didn't get? It's a groundhog that live next door. We might end up getting him next, depending on he comes to the yard or not. But yeah, man, they real drivey dogs, man. They can real life do the job, and that's what I like about them, man. Because you got a lot of a master breeds that can't do it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? A lot of master breeds is just gonna look at the animal running past and
Right.
oh, that was cute. You know what I mean? And not
Yeah.
even try to go after it. So I like the fact that they got the prey drive to go after an animal, and in case a person is that kind of threat, they will engage
They
with
got
you too.
they got that
You know what
defense
I mean?
drive as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to keep both. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
I really like that about them.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that's it, man. I appreciate you coming on. I know, like I said, this was a great episode, and definitely I gotta try and tap you in with OG and see if he'll work with me.
I
Do
got
that
you.
for me, man. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to get both of them, man.
Okay.
If I can get home too, I'm gonna try to get both of them
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a lot of old information that a lot of people will love to hear. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Please do that.
The Borble, the Pressers, they had doses back in. I don't know if you know what doses are. You ever heard of the doses?
What's that?
Yeah, it's a dog from Korea, I believe. It's almost like a big red Neo. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? More like a. I kind of think it's a Neo Tosa cross, to be honest with you. You know
I
what I
think I
mean?
saw. I think I saw it as Dosa and thought they meant to say Tosa or something like that. And it was
That's
a
the
red
actual dog.
dog.
Yeah, it's a red dog. They come in red. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a separate breed. So yeah, they
Yep.
had doses, they had warbles, they had pressers. So they would be good to talk to with a lot of information. And they actually
Man.
went to South Africa to get the dogs. Uh, he went to the Canary Islands and they got to see the dogs and not the
Yeah.
different. So they can tell you a whole lot. And that's why I say my
Man.
dogs come down from that. And I just happen to keep
Right.
that around for 20 years. You feel me? So I one of the few people that can actually say they got some real history behind the dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah,
So, yeah. Definitely tell them a nice young man would love to sit them down and talk to him. And I don't know.
yeah,
We got to probably work together again because like I said, I like this right here
yeah, anytime, bro. Just let me know ahead of time and we'll make it happen.
for
Definitely.
sure.
On the real.
All right.
I
Yeah. You have a
appreciate you
blessed day, man. Oh,
for
what
man.
you say?
I
Say it again.
appreciate you for having me on at the end of the
Oh
day.
man, already, man. Ain't no problem.
Like I said, you being a young guy, interested in dogs like that and starting you a podcast, that's real positive, man. Especially being black at the end of the day, man. To
Yeah.
see us in a positive light doing something that's great, you know, especially
Right.
at your age. A lot of people, you know, the world we live in, man, a lot of people out here doing wild stuff. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
So you got a good head on your shoulders, man. Keep that up and man, hopefully things just flourish for you at the end of the day. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I
Just turn
appreciate
something
that.
even bigger, you know. So keep
Yeah.
it up, man. And
Thank you
anytime I got you, anytime, bro. Anytime you need me, just let me
for
know.
sure.
For
Appreciate
real.
it. All right, man. Well, yeah, that's it for us, man. Lamone, you have a blessed day, man. Like I said, I'm gonna hit you whenever. See if we can work something else out.
Yes, sir. You have a
All
good one
right.
too, man.
Yep. Thank you. All right, y'all. That's it from Catch Dog Concepts for this week. Got some more content coming this next week coming up. So yeah, y'all stay on your feet, stay on your toes, and be ready. Catch Dog Concepts gonna keep doing this thing. Yes, Lord.